Bodiam Castle is a 14th century moated castle near Robertsbridge in East Sussex, built in 1385 by Sir Edward Dallengrig with the permission of Richard II, ostensibly to defend the area against French invasion during the 100 Years' War. The plan is quadrangular, a central courtyard, and the chambers are built around the outer defensive walls and inner courts rather than the earlier design of a keep. The castle's corners and entrance are marked by towers and topped by crenellations. Possession of Bodiam Castle passed through several generations of Dallengrigs until their line became extinct, whereupon the castle passed by marriage to the Lewknor family. During the Wars of the Roses, Sir Thomas Lewknor supported the House of Lancaster, and when Richard III of the House of York became king in 1483, a force was dispatched to besiege Bodiam, but the castle garrison surrendered without much resistance. The castle was confiscated, but it was returned to the Lewknors when Henry VII of the House of Lancaster became king in 1485. By the start of the English Civil War in 1641, Bodiam Castle was in the possession of Lord Thanet. He supported the Royalist cause and sold the castle to help pay fines levied against him by Parliament afterwards. The castle was subsequently dismantled and left as a picturesque ruin until it's purchased by John Fuller in 1829. Under his auspices, the castle was partially restored before being sold to George Cubitt, 1st Baron Ashcombe, and later to Lord Curzon, both of whom undertook further restoration work. The castle is protected as a Grade 1 listed building and scheduled monument and has been owned by the National Trust since 1925. While researching for this video, I found the following written by Caroline B. on the TripAdvisor website. It is said that passing people near the ruins at the dead of night have reported distinctive sounds of spectral revels coming from within the hollow shell. A mysterious shade of a ghostly red lady can sometimes be seen gazing from one of the towers, looking out upon some distant object, which no one seems to know what it is. It is also said that a little boy, dressed as if from Dickens' day, was seen in 1994 by a custodian of the castle. He was running towards the castle but vanished halfway across the bridge, possibly meaning that he may have fallen over into the moat and drowned. Whilst locking up one day, a staff member glanced up at the windows and caught sight of a woman dressed in red. She thought perhaps she had locked in a visitor, so unlocked and searched around for the person. There was no one there. Bodiam is a place of interest to me. It is a magnificent castle. I was taken round this place as a child of about 6 or 7 years old, and ever since this time I've had a terrible fear of circular stairs. Something happened to me in this castle which has been blotted out of my memory. I cannot remember a thing after crossing the stone bridge over the moat and entering the gatehouse. The next thing I remember is being back in the car and having a terror of the place. I refer to it as the nameless terror of Bodiam Castle. I later revisited this castle as an adult in 1992 and took note of what there was on a mediumistic level. It was a bright, sunny, warm summer's day, and I went there with my girlfriend at the time to show her the castle and perhaps to see what I was terrified of. On the fields outside the castle I saw tents with tethered horses and men in armour. They were going about their daily tasks in a bored, lacklustre way. There were wood smoke and roasting meat and other less pleasant smells in the air, and I had the impression that this was a siege army. All I can really remember are their costumes of padded jackets and round-brimmed helmets, which does not really help much for determining a date. Stopping briefly at the shack to pay for the entrance fee, and seeing the large mortar balls that had been recovered from the moat, we ventured onto the castle. Crossing the bridge across the moat and entering through the gate, I saw a number of people wandering around in various coloured liveries, all of them of the Middle Ages period, perhaps the 14th or 15th centuries. Then, I ventured up one of the small spiral staircases in the gatehouse. These are tight and dark, and for some reason I felt apprehensive, but I put it down to claustrophobia. I managed to make the first floor with its uneven brick flooring, and could not go any further. Indeed, I had to sit on the floor as the room was spinning, and I felt as though I was going to black out. There was a tall, angry man in a medieval attire in there, but I wasn't paying much attention. The sensation of absolute terror had returned, and I had to get down the stairs and out of the castle as soon as I could. I didn't get to see any more of the castle. The nameless terror had got me again. Clearly, it is time for a rematch sometime.